Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Acting Up with Melanie Finney. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and welcome. Thank you for watching, and if you're not, welcome back. Okay guys, I'm ready to hop right into these reviews, so let's get into it. There may be some spoilers. I'm trying to get to a point where like I don't spoil this all for you, but it's hard. So I'm gonna do my best not to spoil the whole shebang, but we gonna see. So we're gonna start off by talking about Behind Her Eyes. It's a limited series that's on Netflix, and woo, child, it was good. So it starts by this woman. It's a single mother. Her name is Louise, and she meets a guy at a bar. His name's David. They kick it off. They're having a good time. They're drinking, whatever. They kiss, and he's like, okay, you know, they kind of just end it there, kind of. And fast forward to like, I think it's like Monday morning, she ends up seeing him, and that's her boss. And she's like, oh, okay. And you're married. She finds out that he's married, and she's like, wow, okay, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, you know, he kind of tries to like, they kind of try to like, all right, you know what? We're just never going to do that again, and we're never going to talk about that night again, and that's just going to be it. Okay? Cool. Whatever. So, like, a few days later, the wife comes to work to like meet the colleagues, see his office, all that stuff. And Louise like hides in the kitchen trying to not be seen by her. Her name is Adele, and so she's like hiding from her, and the wife ends up leaving, and she's like, whoa, like, whoa, 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 whoa. So Louise has a best friend, and Louise's best friend is like, girl, leave them alone. Like, you need to tread lightly in a marriage. That's crazy. So she's like, yeah, girl, I'm not doing that no more. So, oh my gosh, it's just so good. So, Louise ends up running into Adele, which is the wife of David, and they end up like going to go get breakfast. Like they end up going to go get some coffee. It's on Louise's day off and everything. And Louise is like, oh my God, this is really weird. Like, I kissed your husband. This is crazy. And David's like very controlling over Adele. Like, he's like always texting her. He's always making sure that she calls and checks in every day. She's on medication because she used to be in a mental asylum. We don't really know why at first, but she used to be in a mental asylum. And so Louise is like, oh, David's kind of controlling over you, don't you think? And she's like, oh, you know, he just loves me. It's whatever. And so then Adele tries to like befriend Louise, and they become really good friends behind David's back, because David goes to Louise and he's like, leave her alone. Like, don't be in our marriage. That girl's crazy. She's not the same Adele she used to be. Like, don't trust nothing she says. But Louise is like, but you're mean to her, and I like her, so I'm gonna keep being her friend. And so they go to the gym together. They have lunch dates together. All this because, you know, Louise has like 3 days off throughout the week. So she has time, or like 2 days off, and she gets to like, you know, hang out. And so then David starts to kind of like her again, like, ooh, I like you. So they start to mess around again, and then it gets pretty messy there that way, because that's like, wow, you're like friends with the wife, but you're sleeping with the husband. It's crazy. So Louise also has night terrors. So she has these really bad, vivid dreams. It's like the same night terror that she had over and over again. And Adele is like, oh, you know, I can show you how to deal with that. Like, basically, I can teach you how to lucid dream and how to control your dreams and make you dream about what you want to see. And so Louise is like, oh, I don't know about all that. That's kind of wild. And Adele's like, trust me, it's fine, it's fine. So Adele gives Louise her best friend Rob. Adele and Rob became best friends in the mental asylum. And Rob is the one that taught Adele how to lucid dream. And so he kept a journal about all his dreams and everything like that. So Adele gives Louise Rob's journal, and so Louise starts to learn, like, okay, all right, so you gotta like kind of tap your fingers here and there, say a few words there, and then go to sleep, and then start to like control your dreams that way. So then Louise is having great dreams. She's like, oh, I'm sleeping well at night, you know, I'm not waking up in the middle of the night in pools of sweat anymore. Thank you so much. So Adele is like, oh my gosh, okay. So then we start to learn a little bit more about Adele and Rob, and they became, like I said, they were friends in the mental asylum. And Adele came from money. She had like this big house. Like her family has this huge estate, and her parents died in a fire. Now Adele was in the house as well, but she was lucid dreaming at the time. So she, like, her body was there, but she wasn't like in her body. So her parents died, but somehow David was like on the way to the house to, like, I don't know what, we really don't know why he was on the way to the house, but he ended up saving her, but her parents ended up dying. So that's kind of what's, I think, is the reason why she was in the mental asylum. So anyway, so yeah, so when she got out the mental asylum, she was able to go back to the estate, and then Rob got out and visited her as well. While she's in the mental asylum, she's talking about David all the time, and Rob's like, oh, he's such a great guy, you're so lucky, it must be nice to have a great guy like that. So Adele is back in the estate. David comes back from university because he's in school to be a doctor at this point, and Rob also comes and visits that weekend. So the three of them are hanging out. It's a little bit of tension between Rob and David because David's like, who is this dude that, you know, been all with my girl, you know? And Rob is like, oh, look, dude, I'm not trying to get with your girl whatsoever, trust me. So, you know, they spend the weekend together, and Rob just keeps saying, like, oh my gosh, it's just, you're so lucky to have a guy like that. You're so lucky to have a guy like that. All this and that. So fast forward back to, like, the time that we know Louise. So just, like, crazy stuff ends up popping off because David's like, listen, Adele's crazy. Like, she stalked this old girl, this old woman I used to kind of date and talk to, because David just started, like, spending all his nights out, coming home later because he was with Adele, because he was with Louise. And yeah, so David's like, listen, you need to leave us alone. Like, leave us alone. And Louise is like, no, like, I deserve to be happy. I like you. And because he ends up finding out that Adele and Louise are, like, hanging out and they're friends. And he was like, I told you, don't be messing with her. She cray. So yeah, anyway, Louise ends up finding the other woman. Like, there's another woman before Louise that David used to, like, deal with, and the girl's like, yeah, you can leave that family alone because Adele showed up to my house and she, like, broke into my house and all this and that. It was wild, guys. It was wild. So I'm trying to, like, wrap it up because I could keep on talking about it if I really want to, and I'm trying not to. Long story short, we get to, like, Adele's kind of like, oh, you know what, I don't need to be with David anymore. Oh, let me go back a little bit. So Rob died, and they threw his body in a well, and so, like, and so Adele basically was, like, blackmailing David to stay with her because he's like, your watch is at the bottom of that well, so it looks like you helped me kill him. So that's why David is, like, stuck with Adele, you know what I'm saying? And so David's like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the police and I'm gonna just go ahead and turn myself in because I don't want to be with her anymore. I actually love you, Louise. I want to be with you. I can't do this anymore. And then Adele writes this letter, like a suicide letter. She calls Louise and she's like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm just gonna end it all. You should be with David and not me. And also, Adele has been lucid dreaming, but she's been spying on Louise and David this whole time. So Adele has known, like, all the affairs, all those late nights, Adele knew about it. And Louise is like, you didn't, why would you, how dare you? And Adele's like, how dare you sleep with my man? Like, are you kidding me right now? So yeah, Adele's like, you know what, I'm gonna end it all. And Louise tries to, like, get into the house, right? And then she, like, goes to sleep so that she could lucid dream, and, like, well, really at this point it's like astral projecting. So, like, Adele, like, Louise astral projects into the house to get Adele, and then Adele switches bodies with Louise. I'm leaving out a very spicy tidbit, and I won't ruin it for you guys because I don't want to, but just know I give this show a 10 out of 10. Next, I want to talk about I Care a Lot. This movie made me so mad. This movie made me so mad. Marla Grayson, that's the name of Rosamund Pike's character, basically, like, scams elderly people into convincing them to let her be their guardian, like their legal guardian, because they're older, like most of their kids have died or don't care about them. And, like, she studies these older people and notices, like, oh, their kids don't come visit, no grandkids, either they're a widow or widower, so yeah, let's get them. So yeah, she basically tricks them into becoming their legal guardian and takes all their money and puts them in these, like, retirement homes and just lets them kind of, like, rot pretty much. And I mean, the retirement home is good. It's not like she's like abusing them or anything, but she's taking their money. And she poses it like she cares a lot. So she ends up finding her next suspect, and her name is Jennifer. Lives alone, pretty active, still does things like that. No kids, no nothing like that. And so she goes and like does her whole little spiel, like knocks on the door, tells her like, hi, I'm with the like county or whatever, and we're coming to basically like kick you out your house and become your guardian. And so she's like, oh wait, but what? And she's like kind of like playing dumb a little bit. And then we end up finding out that Jennifer is the mother of like this mobster guy named Ronan, and he's like, oh, I want my mother. Like, what? So it's like this whole like cat and mouse game. The whole movie is like this cat and mouse game of like Ronan, because he's not supposed to be alive. Like he died, and he has people that will like go and pick his mother up. So he can't just like walk into the retirement home, because then they'll be like, wait a second, you're supposed to be dead. On top of that, you're arrested. So he has to like stay low key. And so it's just this cat and mouse of them trying to like, of him trying to get his mom back. He sends his like henchmen, doesn't work. Like everything he does not work. And she is just like so slick. Like, she's just so slick with it. And so she's dating this girlfriend who's also like in it with her. Ronan gets his people to like kidnap them, to basically threaten them. That works for like 2 seconds, and then she's kind of back at it again. And it's just so annoying. If you want to watch something that's going to have you kind of like, I wouldn't say on the edge of your seat, but invested. I definitely was invested to see like, how is this going to play out, because I just know she's going to get it right now. Oh no? Okay. Now he's going to get her. No? Okay. Well, now! And it's just like, so yeah, I definitely recommend. This is a 10 out of 10. The acting was great. Rosamund Pike is really, really good. She actually won a Golden Globe for it, because yeah, she's bomb. Both of these, the limited series and the show, both are on Netflix, so everyone pretty much has that nowadays. So it's not too hard to find, and they're both a good watch. I definitely recommend. That's my quick little review for this month. I definitely recommend both. They're really good. The acting is good. All that is good. Let me know your thoughts on either show or film. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like for me to review, and I will try to do it for you. But yeah, thank you guys for coming back again. Make sure you come back next week and keep acting up with me. See ya.